Today we are going to be talking about something that has the power to transform your life. How to manipulate your mind. Now, before you start thinking manipulation is a negative thing, let me tell you that manipulation is actually a very, very powerful tool that you can use to overcome limitations, achieve your goals, and live a very fulfilling life. And in this video, I'm going to give you guys 5 tips, 5 points on how to manipulate your mind, because you have to manipulate your mind. For how long are you going to allow your mind to manipulate and trick you? Yes, the things that you think, or some of the things that you're constantly, thinking about, the kind of thoughts that you have, that's your mind manipulating you and tricking you into believing something that is not actually even real. Sometimes we're scared of the unknown. Your mind is manipulating you, making you scared, giving you anxiety. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to be in control of your mind, because you're the owner of your body. So you should be in control of every single part of your body. Number one, your mind is a garden. Okay, think of your mind like a garden. Okay, what kind of flower would you like to plant? Let's say your mind is a garden, for example, because that's saying your mind is actually a garden where you can plant flowers. But if your mind is a garden, what kind of flowers would you like to plant? Would you like to plant weed? Would you like to plant, flowers that are not beautiful? No, you obviously want to plant, beautiful flowers, flowers that are so attractive, flower that smells nice, all the good flowers. You definitely want to plant it in your garden. If you had a garden, you want the garden to look very beautiful, you want it to look very attractive, and you want the whole thing to be aesthetically pleasing, you want it to attract people. You should think of your mind like a garden, and in this scenario of your mind being a garden, what you need to do is plant positive thoughts in your mind. Okay, nothing in this world beats positivity. Always be positive. I know it's good to look at the two sides of the coin, because there's always the bad and the good side. But of what use? Like, what are you going to benefit if you're constantly dwelling on the negative things of life? You're not going to benefit anything from that. But when you're always positive, you're going to be happy, you're going to be at peace. Like, it's I even have to emphasize too much on the things that positivity brings into your life. It's just like a sun rail that shines, in a dark tunnel and brings light in that dark tunnel. That is what positivity does. If you plant negative thoughts in your mind, you're going to reap, oh god, sometimes I find this so hard to pronounce. Well, you're going to reap you're going to reap a harvest of negativity and limitations. If you're constantly feeding yourself, you're constantly dwelling on the negative things of life, like you're always negative, you're always nagging, you're always complaining about every single thing, you see that negativity, that is the outcome you're going to get. You're going to have a lot of limitations, and every outcome, every experience, everything is just going to be negative, because that's what you plant in your garden. If you have a garden and you're planting weed, you're not planting beautiful flowers, obviously the garden is going to look very disorganized, it's not going to look attractive, and you're going to reap you're going to reap, god, why is this word starting? You're going to harvest tons, and you're going to harvest weed, and you're going to harvest nothing at the end of the day. I urge you to plant positive thoughts in your mind today, because you're going to reap, oh god, a harvest of positivity and possibilities. Okay, so this is one way to manipulate your mind. Okay, is by being intentional, knowing the exact things that you plant in your mind, knowing the exact thoughts, that you think about, knowing the exact thought that you dwell on. You have to know exactly what it is, because whether you like it or not, okay, you're going to be influenced, by people, by the things you see. So you have to make the conscious, effort in choosing the kind of things that you're going to constantly think about, because this is your garden. Okay, you have to protect it with your heart and your power and your might. So this is one way, to manipulate the heck out of your mind. Those of you that are master manipulators, you're constantly manipulating people, into doing you a favor. You're constantly manipulating people. I think you should use that skill on yourself. Okay, start manipulating your own self, and stop manipulating other people. Number two is to focus on the solution, not the problem. Focus on the solution and not the problem. I have a friend that used to tell me, do not create problem where there's no problem. Sometimes if you see, certain situations and circumstances in our lives, you find out that you are the one actually creating the problem where there's no problem. Okay, for example, let me use relationship as example, because I know that that is what a lot of us are going to relate on. Let's say you're in a relationship with somebody. Let's say you should send you good morning text every morning and call you every morning, but one day maybe the person forgot to send you, or the person did not send you. Then automatically you just start thinking, oh, there is something wrong. Oh, this person doesn't like me again. Like, that's you creating problem where there is no problem. This person has not told you that they do not like you. Their actions have not, told you too that they do not like you. They merely maybe just forgot what they used to do. They just made a slight mistake. It's not even a mistake, not sending a good morning text or something like. But you get what I'm trying to say. Like, we create problems most times where there is no problem, and instead of focusing on the problem, to look for a solution. Because there's one thing that is promised and is present, is dominant and is inevitable in this life, is crisis, chaos, and hazard. There's always going to be hazard. Like, you're always going to have, crazy things happening. You're done with this problem, the next problem is coming up. Like, it's crazy. Let me not even get into that aspect. But if there's another thing again that is certain, is you see those problems as they come, there is always a solution for those problems. Problem arising, solutions arising too. Okay, so instead of dwelling on the fact that this thing, oh my god, what am I going to do? Oh my god, oh my god, try to think of a solution. Okay, that's one way, to manipulating your mind and actually being, positive about things. Expect the unexpected. Okay, do not think, oh, you are above anything. Okay, expect anything to happen at any time, and always be ready to tackle the problem head on. Instead of dwelling on what's not working, like dwelling on what's not working, wasting your precious little time on what is not working. Focus on what is working. Focus on what is working and how to build on that. Let's say you want to be a doctor, okay, or let's say you want to start a business, or you want to become a content creator, and you're just there, like you're just thinking about the challenges, you're thinking about the difficulty of this thing that you want to do, and that is all you are thinking about. You're thinking of the difficult part. You're thinking, oh my god, it's going to be so hard. Am I going to do it? You're already hindering yourself. You're already limiting. Hey god, English. Oh. You're already you're already limiting yourself, from that thing that you want to do, because your mind, you're already thinking, who are be safe? Like, who am I? Can I achieve this? Can I? Your mind, even when it looks like, the mountain is not going to shake, even when it looks like the mountain is big, it's not going to shake, in your mind, have the faith that you can move the mountain, you can shake the mountain, because as long as God is alive, there is hope. And as long as you are alive, there is hope. Okay, so always look for solutions and quit thinking and dwelling about the problems, because problems are always going to flood you every single time. It's always going to come. Okay, you cannot avoid it. Sometimes it's so hard not to focus on it. It's so hard not to, because this thing is right in front of you, right? It's present, it's happening to you, like it's making you suffer, it's making you sad and all. But one thing you should do to make yourself feel better is think about solutions. Think about solutions really quick to move on from that situation. Okay. Number 3, your words have power. The words that comes out of your mouth, it has power. So make sure you choose your words wisely. I know when people say, a quote, or you hear people say, oh, your words have power, choose your words wisely. Then you just see somebody, person now start shouting, oh, I have $100,000 in my account. Oh, I have this. Oh, I have that. You guys. It's so easy to say it like that. When they say your words have power, it doesn't mean, oh, you just say something now and it will happen immediately. Are you a magician? Hmm? You're not magician. Not a magician. You're not God. So it doesn't work that way. When they say your words have power, it means that, like, in a long run, the things you say with your mouth have power to influence and affect your life. Why am I sounding like a pastor? Words have power in the sense that the way you talk to yourself, the words you use on yourself, like, it matters a lot. It matters a lot. This is why you see that about childhood trauma, it never leaves us. Okay, me for example, growing up, like I was constantly being yelled at, I was constantly being told that I cannot achieve anything, or I cannot do anything, or I cannot do this. Like there was just a whole lot of I cannot. And that made me to have a very low self-esteem and not have confidence in my abilities and not even see my potential in any way for a long time. But that's past and behind me because right now I can just laugh. I want you to know that talking to yourself is a real thing. Okay, you're not crazy, you're not mad. Okay, you're not a mad person. And if there is one thing that I do, not go a day without talking to myself. Like I talk to myself. You have to talk to yourself the same way you talk to another person. You know, you have to talk to yourself the same way you talk to another person. If you're doing something wrong, you're doing something, you know that that thing is wrong. The only person that you cannot lie to is yourself. Hope you know that you cannot lie to yourself. Okay, you can lie to the whole world, pretend to every single person around you, but you see yourself, you cannot lie to yourself. Sometimes we bury the truth. Okay, we bury the truth deep down in ourselves. The same way you talk to people, and the same way you're conscious about your words. You talk to people with nice words. You talk to people with love. You talk to people with care, compassion, and you're so conscious of the kind of words that you use to people because you don't want to hurt their feelings and you don't want to make them feel bad. This is the exact same way that you should talk to your own self too. If you're somebody that is constantly criticizing and talking down on yourself, all you are going to do is reinforce negative pattern and limit your full potential. That is all you're going to do in the long run. If you start using positive and empowering languages, to talk to yourself, look in the mirror and say, when somebody say I cannot do this or something is so challenging, like tell yourself that I can do it, tell yourself that I can make it work, tell yourself that I am beautiful, tell yourself that I am worthy. You can tell yourself, those positive, speak to yourself in a very positive manner, speak to yourself with love, especially when it comes to achieving something. Do not self sabotage yourself even before you start a journey. Okay, by using self-empowering languages, you're going to boost your confidence a whole new level, boost your mood. You're always going to be in a good mood because you feel good about yourself. You do not talk down about yourself in your head like you're a princess, you're a queen, and you don't care what anybody else has to say. You're going to unlock your full potential because you're going to be so confident that you're not going to be scared of people's opinion. You're not going to be scared of what they're going to say. This is how you should talk to yourself and manipulate your mind, by speaking those kind words to yourself, because the loudest voice in your head is always going to be your own voice. Another person's voice cannot be very, obvious or loud, or can influence you, but it cannot influence you if your voice is there. If you talk to yourself, you have your voice in your mind. If you say no, then your no is final. Okay, if you say yes, your yes is final. So talk to yourself, because it's yourself, not, yeah. Another way to manipulate your mind is to always know that your emotions are a choice. Okay, your emotions are a choice. Like I said in my previous video, that I was talking about 99% of the problems of your life are totally formed and it's totally your fault. Okay, I spoke about this in that video. Your emotions are your choice, so you have to make sure that you choose wisely. Choose very wisely. I know for women, like, we're very emotional. Let's not even get into that because we're not going to finish this video today. Like, we're so complicated. We're complicated creatures. I'm not going to lie. You should always know that you have the power to choose how you're going to feel about something. You have the power to, choose the kind of emotion that you're going to give to a situation or give to a person. And stop letting your emotions control you. Okay, mentality and your mindset can literally make you, break you. So it's something that's so important, and it has the power to transform your life, in different dimensions and in different ways, to control your mind. Okay, practice mindfulness, meditate, spend time with your own self, listening to your own voice. I don't get it when people say, oh, they cannot stay on their own. Like, they must always be in the company of other people, they must always have other people around them. You should be able to stay on your own, meditate and listen to your own voice, know what is in your mind, know exactly what you're thinking, know the reason why you're thinking this way, and if it's something that you want to act upon or something that you want to like just the same way you are obsessed with that man, you want to know what he's thinking every time, you want to know what is in his head, you want to know the same way you should be obsessed. That's the same way that you should be obsessed with yourself even before you're obsessed with that man. Okay, Nkechi? Really become more aware of your emotions and make conscious effort on how you want to feel about things is actually going to help you manipulate your mind in the long run, and it's not going to happen overnight. Okay, if you think most of the things I say here is just something you magically, it's not going to happen overnight. First of all, you need to realize that okay, this is something that I want to fix, and then start making conscious effort, daily effort, like start practicing it step by step, like daily, and with time, before you know, you be a master at this thing. Okay, that's how it works. It does not work overnight. It's not magic. Okay, like I said, you're not a magician. Who you? And the last point on how to manipulate your mind and yourself is realizing that you are the architect. I mean, architect. So that's how they call it. You are the architect of your freaking life, of your reality. You are the designer of your life. You need the moment you realize this, the better for you. Nobody's coming to fix things for you. Nobody's coming to put things in place for you. Nobody is coming to do those things for you. You and you alone are in charge of doing those things. So if you're constantly waiting for that man to come and fix things, or when I find it, oh, he will do this, constantly waiting and depending, you're just wasting your freaking time. Because the truth is, you are the architect. So start laying that foundation, like start drawing, start designing the kind of, make conscious efforts, like be intentional about it, start drawing the kind of life that you want to see, kind of choices and the kind of decisions that you make right now, your future self is going to be the one to reap the benefits or the consequences of the kind of decisions that you make right now. So you really, really want to, be mindful. Who do I want to become? What do I want to be? Where do I want to be in the future? Because you are the designer, okay, of your reality and your life. You have to realize that your thoughts and actions, they're all building blocks of your reality in the long run, and you have the power to choose the kind of the kind of sand you're going to build with, the kind of the kind of water you're going to build your library, the kind of block, the kind of foundation you're going to lay. You have the absolute power to make those decisions for yourself. These are things that you are in control of. Okay, nobody else is going to come and make those decisions for you, except you're a slave. Except you're a slave that doesn't have power over your life, and somebody else has to do. You have to follow another person's rules and all. But if you're not a slave, you're not a slave, right? So why exactly are you living your life like a slave to somebody else? Why exactly are you living your life like a slave to other people's opinion, instead of you to be the one in charge? Because you're the sole proprietor. You have to take ownership of your life. Take ownership of your life. The same way you buy all those shoes, the same way you buy land, you buy a car, you buy a house, you do this, you do that, and you be like, oh, all these things are in my name. Okay, this is my own. Okay, I own all these things. That's the same way you have to take ownership of your emotions and actions. Okay, these things are so important, and they're going to end up shaping your reality in the long run. Okay, so you need to be intentional about it. I don't know how many times I'm supposed to say it before you actually get it. Because even as I'm making this video right now, you might be watching me right now and listening to every single thing I'm saying. But if your mind does not agree with me, everything is just going to be entering here and going out there. Because your mind does not agree with me. You have other mentality and other perspective about these things I'm talking about. So yeah, that's how it is. Nobody can open this place up and take it out of you. Even if you get operated upon, like what the thoughts that in your mind, they're always going to be there. They're always going to stay with you forever. Only if maybe you lose your memory or something. You need to always know that you are the landlord of yourself. Okay, you own yourself. What does the landlord do? He takes care of his, tenant, take care of his building because he's the owner. So you're the landlord of yourself. You should be in charge, not somebody else. Make conscious choices and conscious effort and design a reality that reflects your highest potential. Always, 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 always remember that your mind is the most powerful tool that you own. And you have the power to choose exactly how you're going to use it. Okay? So much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.